This is Rob and Jill. Rob is 58 and Jill is 56, and they want to retire at the end of this year, and they want to know if that's doable. So they have about $320,000 in the bank, $300,000 in savings, about $20,000 in checking, and they've got about 2.6, almost $2.7 million in various investment accounts, mostly in tax-deferred assets, Rob's 401k and Jill's 401k. They've got a joint taxable account. They've got a couple of Roth IRAs, and they've got a health savings account. And their home is fully paid off. It's worth about $500,000, and they purchased it in 2010. And again, they want to retire this year. They want to spend $10,000 per month, and they want to vacation. They want to spend $20,000 per year on vacations every year for 20 years after they retire. So they want to make sure that they're able to do that. And currently, Rob makes about $175,000. Jill makes $80,000. Their plan is to start drawing Social Security at full retirement age, which is age 67. Rob's full retirement age benefit is $3,600, and Jill's full retirement age benefit is $1,750. They're both currently maxing out their 401ks, and they're putting about $25,000 per year into a joint taxable account. And so let's see what their probability of success is based off of this information. So if no changes were made, their probability of success is 81%. And that means that after 1,000 Monte Carlo simulations are run, there are 810 simulations that have them not running out of money, and about 190 simulations that have them running out of money. So anything over 80% out of the box is pretty good. And I would say that gives you more or less a green light to retire. If one of those 19% within the Monte Carlo simulations did happen to occur, you can always adjust your plan by spending less. There are levers that can be pulled. So it's not that you need 100% or 99% probability of success in order to retire. Anything above 80% is pretty good, but we can still be more optimal. And one of the biggest levers that we can pull for Rob and Jill is going to be Roth conversions. If you remember, they're mostly in pre-tax. They've got just about $2 million of their 2.6, almost 2.7 in pre-tax assets. So there's going to be a pretty nice window for Roth conversions for Rob and Jill. And so if we look here at the tax strategies, there is a strategy that we could deploy that would create about $616,000 more of tax-adjusted ending assets and would allow them to pay approximately $68,000 less in taxes. So basically what that would entail is, specifically early on in their retirement, the blue area here is their spending without a Roth conversion, and the green is with a Roth conversion. So if we were to look at the details here, it does look like there's a pretty nice window where we could look at converting to Roth. And basically what that's going to do is, since when they first retire, their income is going to be lower than it was whenever they were working. And so during that window, that's a great time to look at doing Roth conversions, because if you just allow those tax-deferred assets to grow until age 75 with RMDs, then you're going to be in a position where your RMDs are going to be really large, and you're going to be forced to take income that you don't necessarily have to take. So what we want to try to do is pull some of that income forward into their earlier retirement years, pay taxes at a lower tax rate, then shift that money over to a Roth IRA where the money can grow tax-free, and any future distributions are tax-free distributions. So when we do that, when we model this out, it looks like we're going to be able to generate over $600,000 more of what we call tax-adjusted ending assets for Rob and Jill. So what is actually interesting is when we do this, and we will plug this in here as a proposed strategy, you'll see that the probability of success remains at 81%, but the median adjusted ending portfolio value went up quite a bit. Now this is not after tax adjusted, so that you see it go up by about roughly $75,000 here, but on a tax adjusted basis, because the money is now in Roth, it's actually quite a bit more. Now, one big opportunity for them will actually be to delay Social Security to age 70. If we were to delay Social Security to age 70 and implement this Roth conversion strategy, now we're looking at a pretty significant jump in their tax adjusted ending assets. So if we come back over here to the tax tab and see how that was affected, now their taxes they're paying more than $100,000 less in taxes across their lifetime, and their tax adjusted ending assets are still in that $646,000 more range. Now, by delaying Social Security to 70, because they're not taking more income, it actually extends the window to where they can actually do more Roth conversions than they would have been able to do if they started drawing Social Security at 67. So by delaying Social Security to 70, it actually extends the Roth conversion window for Rob and Jill, and it gives them a better chance to shift more money from their tax-deferred assets over to Roth. And we can actually track what that looks like over time. So this column is the tax-deferred balance, and this is the tax-free balance. So we're basically just moving money each year from this column to this column. And if we fast forward to the end of their lives, you'll see that when they finally do pass away, they will have no money left in tax deferred and 100% of their money in tax free, which means for their kids are going to inherit about $4.4 million in a Roth IRA, which has no tax consequence for them. And instead of allowing that money to just grow, so we can actually look and see what that would look like without any Roth conversion. So I can come to the cash flows here and go to the current plan. Under the current plan, if nothing were to change, their kids are going to inherit a little bit of Roth, but most of that money is going to be inherited from a 401k or IRA type asset. So still $4 million total, but almost all of it is going to be, or about half of it will be tax deferred, versus in the proposed plan with that Roth strategy, almost all of that money is going to be a Roth asset, which is tax-free. So the big thing with Roth is that you want to evaluate it on a year-by-year basis as you evaluate what your tax situation looks like. This is what we kind of map out might work for them, but we really want to revisit this on a year-to-year basis to fine-tune all of this. So that's what it would look like if you were to retire at ages 58 and 56 with about 2.6, call it $3 million in retirement assets.